this, we have metrics, and with these metrics, we can track our cycle time. What we have is therefore a reflection of all the time that it costs us to carry out each activity. Okay? As you can see, we have a vision. Those little red dots mean blockages. So, right now, we have the ability to see the time it takes us to do an activity in normal time, and we can even see if there are crash impacts and see and evaluate in the same graph the block time that has occurred and even have an answer to the cause of this block time. What else can we see in this graph? Well, I'm going to tell you a little story that is closely related to the report we have today of the summary of everything we are visualizing in this graph. About a few months ago, we needed to know the number of validations that had been done in a period of time. Then, by the traditional method, the person in charge of validations said there were 23, and the person responsible for the management team went to the board. It was agreed. Ruth had explained to us the graph in which all the documents that we have finished and delivered to the client appear. He started counting points and 30 came out. But he was not very satisfied because, of course, at the end of the month, the difference was big. Then, as she was not happy, she called me and said, "Hey, Ruth, I have done this." And I tell her, "Very well. You have done very well," I tell her. And you have given her the statistics. Where is that? I showed it to him, and the answer was 34. So, in the end, it makes it much easier for us to answer. When someone calls us, it makes it much easier for us to have these analytics that are visual and in real time and that everyone can see. We could have even saved ourselves the call. This is another graphic that I like a lot, so I will take a while to explain it to you. Why? Because the first time I saw it, it scared me. And I said, okay, I'm a scientist. I'm used to graphics, but I didn't understand it. This reflects your work. This reflects your entire dashboard, your entire workflow, from the moment the customer asks us for a piece of work until we deliver it. As you can see, all the columns on our board would be all the colors that we see represented here. For example, they would be writing QC review and QA review. And in our workflow, the client also intervenes and we review it as well. So in the end, we have many dependencies, both internally and with the client. Many are interdepartmental, and we also have the system's own dependencies. Okay, so here what we can see is, for example, let's focus on writing. When I get an order, the writing begins here and ends here. What do I have? All the documents that I need to review, instead of having them like this, we are going to look at them in this way. And those are each of the colors that we are seeing there. So the height reflects the number of inventories we have, and the part of the base, that's the time it takes to go from the time work has been requested until what I have delivered. So with this graph, what can we do? We use it in weekly or daily meetings, and with it, we can anticipate bottlenecks. Here, we can see that when the entire part of the work in progress is widening, when we see that there is a color widening, it means that we are having a bottleneck. So, if we review it continuously, we can be proactive and we can put improvement measures to prevent it from becoming a bottleneck. And if it has already been a bottleneck, they have already taught us what the methodology is to be able to correct it, the theory of constraints. And since Efrat has explained it very well, I do not dare say much more.